What's going on, everybody? We're back with another CCW review. I am Nick,
And I am Joe.
and I am not. I'm way more energetic sounding than I actually am.
He's faking it. Gotta
I'm
fake
not.
it till you make it.
I'm not faking it. I'm forcing it because I am actually exhausted. Um, and yeah. The show tonight starts with what starts to appear as a cold open that they normally do for collisions. Um, and the conglomeration are talking about defending their titles, but then FTR walk into the picture, and Stokely is like, "Yeah, you guys are going to lose those to the Don Callis family
Our
tonight."
friends, the Don Callis family.
And then they walked off, and FTR makes their way to the ring. Um, and then we get our in ring segment going. Cash says that they're going to accept the challenge because it's just pretty enticing. You know, we might get to finally get rid of Cope and Christian. Uh, Dak says that they don't deserve the titles just because they were successful from a long time ago.
25
Uh,
years ago, he said.
he's like, nobody wants you here. He said, New York Street Fight sounds great, but Dax wants no more questions, no debates. So he wants it to actually be an I Quit match. He continued to call it a New York Street Fight I Quit match. Once you say I Quit match, I think you're good. I think that covers all the bases.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb. But actually, not a bad FTR promo
He was like,
for a change.
the ball's in your court. There was one part where he was like, you don't have to degrade our manhood to get us to agree to something. offering up what you did was good enough.
Yeah.
Um,
They looked like nerds on the way out, though.
so then the conglomeration, their music hits as FTR is about to leave. And then Kyle and Roderick pushed FTR down, and then Orange Cassidy faked like he was going to punch Stokely, and Stoke just fell on his own.
Yeah, they looked like nerds. But it was payback from the cold open thing. But it still made FTR look like nerds.
That's okay, because FTR makes themselves look really good in the ring, and that's what matters most.
That's true. They are the best tag team going right now.
Plus, the idea of an FTR versus Kyle and Roderick match.
I've seen it. It's in the old black and gold NXT. I would see it again and be very, very happy to see it again.
I haven't seen it, but I would be
Man,
down.
we need to find a way to watch those old black and gold matches.
I would be down to see it.
Old NXT black and gold was AEW before AEW was AEW.
Match 1, AEW Trios Championship match, the conglomeration versus the Don Callis family, Andrade El Idolo, Lance Archer, and Hechicero. My notes, I said the exact same thing I sent to you. Archer's here to eat the pin. I was right.
Yeah, there was some weirdness in this match.
Now, I thought most of the match was pretty good. There was that one spot.
It was, but there was a weird spot in the middle where they had to kind of figure it out and reset.
So it almost looks like right after Roderick starts to do the stuff that he does, where he uses OC as a
battering ram.
A battering ram. Usually, the way he ends it is he tosses him into the next person for a DDT. And it looks like what happened was Archer was bent over, not in position to actually eat a DDT, and Orange Cassidy landed on his back. And when he landed on his back, like, you can't really come from a DDT to get a DDT out of it, so it looked like he just collapsed.
Yeah, it was off.
But I don't know if it was intentional either, because when he was on his back, Roddy started kicking him in the legs. So I was like, maybe he meant to kick him and drop him.
I don't know. It looked weird.
It looked weird though. Earlier in the match though, there's this funny part where Archer gets tagged in and OC had his back turned to Archer, and OC turns around and meets Archer right at his chest, and then
he's at nipples level, man.
And then he backs up, takes off his sunglasses, and kind of looks around, and then turns around and just goes and tags in Roddy.
And Roddy doesn't care. Roddy comes in and starts doing his slaps and elbows, and then tries to shoot the half and whip him into the ropes. And Archer was having none of that. It was a funny spot.
The match ends with Kyle and Roddy hitting a high-low on Archer, and Roddy then throws Orange on top of him, and they get the win.
Yep. Not
Overall,
bad, but kind of weird.
overall, decently wrestled match. Backstage, after Dynamite, I guess, the Death Riders plop Ospreay down in a chair and crack his neck. Listen, if I had neck surgery, I wouldn't be allowing anyone to be twisting my head around
Right?
like that.
I'd be like, hey, Marina, can I see some qualifications for you chiropracted me with a towel here?
And Roddy's recommendation doesn't count. Okay.
Right? Yeah, Roddy's got skin in the game, and he can't be the one to say it.
Mox is like, what are you trying to accomplish other than breaking my neck? What are you chasing? He was like, I don't even think you know the answer to that question anymore. He says, yeah, one day your body's going to break eventually. He's like, and you can run into a brick wall repeatedly, but the wall's not going to go anywhere. But once you realize that there's a door there and you can walk through and get anywhere that you want to be.
The analogy was good.
He was like, the brain when train's not going to break. He sends Ospreay a steel chair across the floor, tells the rest of the guys to leave, the guys and gal to leave. And then he lays on the floor and he's like, look, we could settle this up like this, or you can become everything that you're meant to be. And then Ospreay grabbed the chair and made it look like he wanted to start waylaying into him. But then he got up and then grabbed the cameraman, and then things disappeared. We obviously know he's fine and still alive because he comes out next with the rest of his crew. But, yeah.
Very good segment. The broadcast I was watching, I had to turn way up because they weren't properly mic'd in the broadcast I was seeing.
It probably wasn't any different than what I saw. I just didn't have any problem hearing it.
Maybe I'm just deaf. I don't know, but I had to turn it way up.
My problem with this segment is the one thing I don't want to have happen. I don't want to see Ospreay join the Death Riders.
I don't think they're going that route. I don't know why they're even going down this road where Mox has to get Ospreay his confidence back. Why couldn't Ospreay just come back and be Ospreay?
Right.
So I don't quite understand where they're going.
Like, and of all people,
I don't think it's going to be him joining the DR.
If someone's going to give him his confidence back, it definitely also shouldn't be the dude that put him out of commission.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's weird. It makes no sense.
It's Last of Us 2 all over again.
Shut up. Don't even mention that game. Don't even mention that fucking game.
I don't know where they're going to go with it. Listen, a part of me was hoping we weren't going to see Mox, and then we find out that he did just fuck Mox up, and Mox was going to be off TV for a while. Not like a long while, because he's got a title, but I don't know. I wanted something that isn't leaning towards he's going to be helping Ospreay in some way. It just doesn't make sense to me on that one.
Yeah, and we don't need to bring up The Last of Us. Fuck Abby. Fuck that bitch.
Match 2. My match of the night. It's a 10-man tag.
It was fine.
Death Rider. Oh, dude, this match was amazing.
It was fine. It was a Young Bucks match.
Oh, it was far more than that. Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Anthony Garcia. Anthony? I just called him Anthony.
Anthony Garcia?
Yeah. Listen, we're just going to say Garcia, and we're going to leave it at that. Garcia.
I about said Andy Garcia. What the fuck is this first? Daniel Garcia.
Listen.
There we go.
It doesn't matter. He's the one guy.
You threw me. I was going for another Garcia.
I was excited at one point.
Almost Andied.
I was excited at one point that he was going to be at NXT, and then he stayed. So I don't. And the Dogs, Clark Connors and David Finlay, versus the Rascals, which are all three of the Rascals and the Young Bucks. I did put, Mox is on commentary. That was my first sentence. It's like, fuck me.
He wasn't too bad. He wasn't super annoying.
He wasn't. There's actually a really funny line that came from Shivani in this match too, and we'll get to that in a second. So
I know what one you're talking about.
the Rascals and the Bucks had this. They actually coordinated their full entrance pose. I was like, well, that's cool. They at least got together. It's like, hey, let's do some pageantry on our way out. There's this really dumb spot, I will say, at the beginning of the match where everyone's in some form of a sharpshooter except for Desmond and Yuta.
And they're fighting in the middle.
And they're
it's real dumb.
Middle of wrestling in between them. Much to your dismay, Connors hit a really nice pounce on Desmond.
Yeah, the 5'8" guy hit a pounce on a slightly taller, slender man.
I thought it looked really good.
It was basically a shoulder takedown.
As long as he's not doing it to people like, Leona, I'm good.
He's not doing it to to Lance Archer, and Lance Archer's taking a bump where he flies out of the ring.
Right. There's this part where Yuta was getting his ass beat, and Shivani, of all people, goes, yeah, it looks like Yuta's blocking those shots with his face, and I lost my shit, dude. I was like, where is this 99% of the time? Like, that was funny.
The bad thing is, if you've ever watched like Tony Schiavone's podcast when he had it, I don't know if he has it anymore.
I've seen some of them.
He's a witty guy. All his personality disappears when he's on commentary, though. I don't get it. I don't get it.
But yeah, he was like, Yuta's blocking all the shots with his face, and without missing a beat, Mox goes, yeah, let's talk about the toughness of this young kid.
Just feeding off of it. But that's good. That's a good back and forth. He was feeding off of the comments.
I was like, that was fantastic. Probably the best exchange of commentary for the entire night. Listen, Matt Jackson hit Northern Lights on everyone, and the only reason I know it's Matt Jackson is because the announcer said it was.
Well, he's also the only one of the two that do the Northern Lights.
Let's see, I don't know that. They all look the same to me.
They're brothers, but they do not look the exact same. There is clear, distinct
dude. And if
characteristics.
If Jack Perry's in the ring, it's like a trio that I just can't tell. It's just those white people with long hair, dude.
True. It's little white California kids.
I'm kidding about that one. I obviously know who Jack Perry is. He at least dresses differently.
I'm not. They do all look very similar. They're little. I say little, like I'm some.
And man, you get Marco Stunt in there. I'm kidding. I'm definitely kidding at that point. You know which one that is, okay? I'm just.
Yes, because he's the little person.
there was this really, really well shot, cool spot where Myron and Wentz grab Desmond. And they're in the middle of the ring, and I believe it was Archer that was on his knees. And they...
Archer? Claudio?
No, I believe it was... Oh, yeah.
Archer was in the previous match.
Then it wasn't Claudio. Who was it? It was Connors.
Was it David Finlay?
It was Connors.
Connors, okay.
If I'd have read further into the sentence. I usually start reading the sentence, and then I remember what the note is, and I start just talking.
Sure.
Connors was on his knees, and they flip Desmond Xavier, and as they flip him, the Bucks do their super kicks. So it's them two doing the super kicks, and then Desmond hitting a double drop kick by being flipped by his teammates. And the timing was done really well. It was shot really well to where it just looked really good. So at least plus 1 point for production, even though they get minus for most of the rest of the show. And then the end of the match I thought was really cool and creative. So Finlay is about to get suplexed. And as he's in the air, Yuta runs into the ring. He grabs Finlay's legs and he yanks them down so that he doesn't get suplexed. And then when Finlay lands, he lifts Xavier up.
And they hit the full clip.
And yeah, they end up hitting the full clip. And it was just really well timed. I was like, holy shit.
Yep. I thought it was going to get broken up, but it was the end of the match. And I was like, oh shit.
Heels got the win, as they should.
Yep.
Yeah, I loved the match. I thought everyone looked good most of the time.
Yeah, it was there. It was a fine match. There's nothing wrong with it.
I actually want to see the Rascals wrestle more as a trio and not just assorted tag teams, depending on what mood they're in.
Right.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. And then no, not the dumbest segment. It was close. It was close. Statlander and Cheetah are backstage, and Harley and Mina
This was a rough segment, though.
are also backstage. And Cheetah says that Harley's not on their level. And then they all start. Harley says something in Japanese because Cheetah makes it seem like that Harley doesn't know Japanese. So then Harley starts speaking in Japanese. Yeah. They all start arguing with each other, and Stat's just like, "Fuck this," and she walks away.
And walks to go to her match.
And then it leads to our match. Match 3, Chris Statlander versus Becca with a 3.
Yeah, Becca, which was B3 CKA.
CCA.
Was it CCA? See,
yeah.
I fucked it up.
Becca attacks Chris from behind during the entrance. I said, listen, but it's Stat, and she's Becca with a 3, so that didn't take long to get out of.
Nope.
Becca with a 3 hits about 3 more kicks on the apron. Stat pulls her in over the top rope. Stat goes for a spinning elbow. Becca ends up pulling out a flatliner and then put her in a really nice submission. Stat picks her up out of the submission, though, and then drops her into the Saturday Night Fever. And Stat wins. And honestly, do you know what this reminded me of?
No, go ahead.
That really short Kurt Angle D'Lo match that we talked about. Like, it's not quite a squash because they both had pretty even back and forth.
The Becca chick actually looks like she can work a little bit.
Yeah. But it reminded me of the Kurt Angle D'Lo match where the right person won, and it was done in a quick back and forth.
It was like
5-6 minutes.
Beat. It wasn't. I don't even think it was that long. It was maybe like 4 minutes.
I liked it.
I have no complaints. The segment before it kind of ruined it a little bit, but.
So post-match, Sheeta goes up to hug Stat as she's walking up the ramp, and Stat just walks right fucking past her. And then when they get down up towards the top of the ramp, Stat goes to taunt. Sheeta looks at her like, "What's going on?" And then Stat still just continued to walk off, and Sheeta chased after her. I'm hoping they lose next week.
Well, clearly they're going to.
And I hope, if I'm being honest, Stat just beats the shit out of Sheeta after the match. I think it's going to go the other way.
I think you're going to get the reverse of that.
But I would love for Stat to just be like, "No, fuck you. Like, you're dragging me into shit that's not my problem."
Yep. She didn't even want to be in this tag team.
No.
She could have been in a tag team with one of her friends and told her friend, "Nah, I'm good." And she'd have just kind of imposed her will on everything. Which Sheeta as a heel is not working.
It's gonna be
not
weird.
Working.
It depends on how they go with it and moving on. I will never judge her being a heel off of. She hasn't even fully gone heel. She's just being a cunt.
To be fair, you are correct. So maybe she'll be a better heel.
But once
she actually does the turn.
Once she starts going into full on beating people with her kendo stick and shit, I think she's going to be far more entertaining.
Do you think they're going to make her the one who took out Tony?
I think they. They will.
Too easy. It seems too easy not to.
No. You know who I think is going to be the one that took out Tony?
I want it to be Mina.
Britt Baker.
I wouldn't mind that either, but I think it is really, really unlikely. Oh, and Britt comes back and she's super heel and just is blaming all the other baby faces because she left all the different clues from different baby faces. That would be pretty dope. But that's some booking and psychology that I think Tony's not capable of at the moment.
Backstage, banger vignette from Divine Dominion.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was fine.
Cross said, "Why should we worry about another thrown together team?" She was like,
which is right.
She
Even
said
though they're a thrown together team.
there are only two women in this realm that look the way that we do and destroy people like we do. Dude, these two are so good. I
She is so much more of a convincing talker than Megan Bain is. I'm so glad they allow her to do 70% of the talking.
I actually didn't mind Megan Bain's talking. I had a problem with Megan Bain when she talked when she was with like Penelope.
Penelope, her talking's still just kind of monotone and unconvincing to me.
Well, not everybody can be unmonotone.
Well, do better.
Um,
They have promo classes for that. Well, at least in the other place. I don't know what Tony has.
my stinker of
I
the night.
assume they're produced.
Right. My stinker of the night, match 4, Roosh versus Adam Priest. Listen, this isn't a stinker because of Roosh by any means. I cannot get behind Adam Priest as a wrestler at all. The dude absolutely needs a personality overhaul, and I mean a real overhaul.
Well, you would have to actually have a personality for it to be overhauled. He looks like generic wrestler.
He looks like Crash fucking Holly, dude.
That is an insult to Crash Holly.
No, it's not. Because, listen.
Crash had character, bro.
Yeah, because he carried around a fucking...
He was a super heavyweight.
But that's what we're saying. Like, he has personality, whereas the dude just looks like Crash Holly. Like, that's it. He's just short,
looks like
stocky.
Wrestler X. He's like, you hit random in the fucking creative player, and that's the guy that popped out.
No, that's not what random would ever pop out. Random would always pop out with somebody looking like fucking. What was his name? I can't remember his name. Never mind. The weird dude from the old WWE, Moon something. He had like the spots on his shirt and like the weird mask with the fucking yellow lines. His outfit was like yellow, light blue, and pink and shit.
Is it the guy that Conan played?
It might have been.
Like old, like early 90s WWE, WWF?
Yeah.
Oh, what was that gimmick?
Blue.
Oh, that's gonna bother
yellow, and purple outfit. Listen, I will
me. No,
Google.
you're not gonna get it by that.
Listen,
You should just put in Conan's WWF gimmick.
you would be surprised. Okay, it might not actually pop up. Sometimes that shit works, yo. Conan's WWF gimmick. Early 90s. Oh man, and then the first thing that actually pops up is Ron Simmons with his weird ass
Max
fucking
Moon.
Max
It was
Moon.
Max Moon.
There you go.
You had the moon player, good man.
I knew it had something to do with a moon. I just didn't remember.
Yep, 1992.
And the one I'm thinking of is Paul Diamond as Max Moon, not Conan. Because it was actually two
I don't
people.
remember Paul Diamond as Max Moon.
Here's the image. I'm sending it to you. Because I think Conan took over the gimmick because Paul Diamond was no longer doing it afterwards. Paul Diamond's is the version of it that I remember.
Which one's he? Oh, he's the one on the left.
The one that says Paul Diamond, motherfucker.
Shut up, motherfucker! I was away from my computer screen. I was leaning back. You know I'm blind. I ain't got my glasses on. I ain't got my readers on, man.
That's usually what my creative wrestler fucking pops out at me if I hit random.
Because Conan, they gave Conan that gimmick. He went with it for a couple weeks, and then he quit the company and was like, "Fuck that."
He was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good." Anyways, these two did have one really cool moment. It was towards the beginning of the match where they were just chopping the absolute shit out of each other, dude.
And it looked like Roosh hurt him because the dude kind of doubled over a little bit.
Eventually, Roosh hits the horns and wins. And then post-match, for whatever fucking reason, Roosh had to grab a mic and be like, when you mess
with the bull, you get the horns.
No, what he said was, when you mess with the bull, you get the whore, because he didn't quite fully pronounce the word.
You knew what he meant. You don't actually get a whore.
He meant horns, but that's not what came through the mic, all right?
English is his second language. Give him a break.
Backstage, on Dynamite, I guess, Takeshita says if Okada really wants to face him at Double or Nothing, he'll happily take his title. Bitch.
Oh, and it was terrible.
Always, always. Listen, I don't go to Tak or Okada for good promos.
Yeah, well, not in English, anyways. I'm sure their promos in Japanese is much better.
Backstage tonight, right after, though, Okada says he doesn't like or respect Takeshita. And then he yelled a bunch of things in Japanese. And then he said, at Double or Nothing, you're going to lose. Match 5.
We'll see. It'll be a very well wrestled match.
It might not be. Okada's in it. Match 5.
I can't argue that, so. It's a crapshoot, and you don't know what Okada you're getting from match to match.
Match 5, Tekla and Sky Blue versus Persephone and Alex Windsor. And let's listen. I like to shit on Alex Windsor as much as I possibly can. But this match actually ended up being pretty fucking good overall.
It was fine. It was fine.
Sky Blue had the only rough moment in the match, and it wasn't fully her fault. She went for her code blue, and then ended up having to like sit on Alex's back for a while because Persephone wasn't
for the other person
quite in place to come boot her off. So it looked a little goofy. But that's more on Persephone not being in place than it was Sky Blue having a fuck up. But overall, I mean, other than that one spot, honestly, even Alex Windsor looked fucking manageable for this match. And I was like, holy shit.
Well, she no longer had to worry about her husband.
Well, she didn't have to wrestle with... I'm sorry. Listen.
No, never mind.
I actually like Hayter more than Windsor. But I was about to say, well, she's not wrestling with fucking Hayter. Look, I don't like either of them, personally. But... ended up being a pretty decent match. I was actually expecting Sky to look out of place. She didn't look out of place.
No, Sky's not that bad.
And
but again, they went away after being hurt and came back, and they just haven't looked the same.
And I actually liked the way the match ended, other than Shivani telegraphing it from the very fucking beginning. Like,
yep.
Shivani...
Well, you never know when Julia Hart's going to be lurking around.
And he said it like 4 fucking times throughout the match. And I'm like, Shivani, we know she's going to interfere. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah. Heels do what heels do, and she did. She blew the mist into Persephone's face.
Now,
go ahead.
Here's where my question lies. The last time she blew mist into somebody's face, they became a darker sky blue. Does Persephone go evil?
I think it depends on the verity of the black. I don't know. There's no rules to these things, man. It's made up as it goes.
Things just go as they go. Yeah. But yeah, she came in, blew the mist in old girl's face. Sky Blue hit the code blue, and they won.
To be fair, it took Sky Blue a very long time to finally turn.
It did. But yeah. That was... I said a boot. I was so confused.
Boot. We got 2 more matches, I believe.
We do. There was actually a 7-match fucking collision.
Oh, it was long. I thought that was the main event, and I was like, all right, wrapping this up.
Nah, I thought Jack Perry versus El Clone was the main event. And then it was over.
I thought the same thing after that, and then I forgot the Jericho thing even existed.
Match 6.
I was just ready for the show to be over because it was so just...
Honestly, from
collision.
From the women's match, it kind of goes downhill. So,
you're right.
Jack Perry versus El Clone isn't terrible. El Clone had this really cool moment where he took off the eyepiece of his mask, and I hope he wrestles like that moving forward, like for good. Don't even come out with the eye patch on.
It would have been cooler if the camera wouldn't have been so close and you could hear the Velcro.
Right.
But I like El Clone.
Or were you saying you didn't like hearing the Velcro?
Yeah, I didn't like hearing the Velcro.
Oh, I don't mind it because I know it's Velcroed on. That's not an issue for me.
Well, so do I, but I don't know. It just takes away from the reveal when you hear...
Didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I'm a picky bitch. What can I say?
I know. We know you're not ever happy.
I'm happy. I live a very happy life.
Listen, you've had a rough day. You couldn't find a video game to play. Now you think you have to watch anime because you can't find a video game to play. Even though I guarantee you your backlog is redonkulous.
No, not really.
That's a lie.
Just depends on what you mean by backlog.
If you own games that you haven't played, it's a backlog.
Then no, I don't have many games that I have not played.
Yeah, I think you're full of it, but that's okay. Um. Anyways, this match, Jack. What I'm hoping for is I'm hoping for El Clone is eventually going to lose the mask because I actually liked his look when I looked up to see who it was that wrestled with him without the mask on. He just looks crazy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Probably be better for his character anyways. And, well, he won't be able to be called El Clone anymore.
Right.
Or maybe he can. Who gives a shit what his name is? As long as he looks cool and he continues to wrestle like he does.
So he has this spot that he did. He's done it before, but I've never pointed it out, so I'm going to point it out now. He does this thing, and it happened to Jack, where Jack was leaning against the second rope. Think like for 619 type scenario. And then El Clone kicks the bottom rope, or the middle rope, which hits the dude in the throat that's leaning over it. And then he ran and did a clothesline off of it. And again, it's along the same lines as Davis's clothesline, where he runs off the ropes and they bounce off.
Yeah, Mark Davis's, yeah.
Like little things like
in position.
Yeah. Little things like that I really enjoy.
Yeah. It makes sense. It's like, I see what you did there.
Random sentence. I hate that there's a prescription drug named Ebglyss. That's for anyone that gets stuck watching these damn commercials. I just want to point that out. I don't hate.
Dude, I stopped watching on Max because that's all the ads are prescription drug ads.
I don't hate anyone that has to that I don't hate that there is the drug. I hate that they named it Ebglyss. It's such a dumb name.
Well,
such a dumb name.
Yeah, most drug names are dumb names.
El Clone hits his really cool, almost Pentadriver like move.
Yep.
And then
it's very similar to a Pentadriver.
Yeah, it is. And then Jack Perry hit his running knee and got the win. It was an okay match, couple cool reversals, but outside of that, nothing super special.
No, Jack Perry is a wet blanket as a champion. We talk about people with no personality.
Yeah.
Man. If his dad wasn't Luke Perry, what would Jack Perry's personality be?
Well, to be fair, his dad is Luke Perry, and his personality is a Jungle Boy. So I mean,
what does that what does that even mean?
He's supposed to be like George. He just needs his dinosaur back, and his dinosaur is not there, so it's kind of hurting him.
The dinosaur is the only thing holding that fucking thin fucking veneer of a gimmick together.
It's true. It's true. Backstage or Willow vignette. She basically was like, if you're gonna come back on, and face me, be ready because I'm ready. She said that everyone that's tried to come back on her so far has failed. And I feel like this is still leading up,
setting something up
to Britt
coming back. Yeah, this is like teeing up a Britt Baker thing. She was at the NFL draft on day one. Nice. Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out a picture of her on ESPN saying, "Look, Britt Baker's back on TV." Because she was in the crowd. It was funny.
Yeah. And then backstage, because anyone wanted to hear this, Bowens approaches. So actually, this ended up being funnier than I thought it would be. Bowens approaches Hook, and he's like, and Hook's with Joe. You could tell this is right after fucking Joe's match.
I thought Joe was about to beat his ass.
And he's like, Hook, you said that it was going to be in a week. Today's a week. What's going on? And Hook's like, oh yeah, I wanted to let you know there's no more vacancy in the ops. And then Bowens looks at him like, the fuck, man?
Squares up. Yeah, Bowens was going to square up.
And Joe gets in his face and he's like, you heard the man. There's no more vacancy in the ops. And that's because you're in. And he daps him up and then he kind of smiles over at Hook. And this almost felt as if he was like, you ain't done shit. Like that's what this felt
Right.
like. Is him kind of looking at Hook like, what the fuck have you done since I've been back?
Oh, dude, I hope they have like an in-ring segment like next week where they're like welcoming Bowens and they're like acting like it's exciting and stuff, and Hook's trying to put him over, and then Joe's like, "All right, enough of this facade," and he just berates Hook, and then he beats the fuck out of Bowens in front of Hook.
Now that would be cool. Do I think that's gonna happen? No. But
Sadly, no. Where's Shibata's ass at?
holding the camera probably.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Match 7, the Demand versus Chris Jericho and the Hurt Syndicate. We hurt people. I just had to put that there.
We hurt people.
Toa Leona did a Samoan drop to Lashley on the outside of the ring, and it looked very awkward. I hope Lashley, didn't throw out a hip. I know he's getting old.
All right, he's getting up there.
Um, Lashley hit like a drop knee spear at some point.
Yeah, I thought he got hurt because it was weird.
I don't, yeah, but he got back up and started wrestling some more and
He
did a regular
did.
spear later.
He finished the match. I don't know if he slipped. I don't know. It was strange looking.
Jericho hit a crowd breaker on Ricochet. Toa Leona hit the worst pounce of the night on Lashley. This is a prime example of two smaller dudes doing a pounce to each other looks way better than two really big guys.
The whole point of the pounce move is a big person doing it to a little person to actually pounce them away.
As
A big guy doing it to a big guy is stupid. Just do a shoulder tackle. It does the same thing.
well, the problem with Lashley too is he's not good at ragdolling. He never has been.
No, he's too muscular. His agile nature has been long since gone due to the heavy things this man has picked up over the years.
If anything, he should have done the pounce to Shelton.
Yes,
Shelton would have been
would've
able to
bumped
sell
for
it pretty well.
Yeah.
Jericho gets
Hell, Jericho's old ass could have sold it better.
Oh no, we don't need him dying. All right, calm down, calm down. This man needs to retire.
Well, maybe that's a fast track to get him there.
Jericho gets Rico in the walls of Jericho, but the match starts to fall apart. Ricochet ends up then hitting Jericho in the dick, and then hits a Rico salt for the win.
Yep. Chris Jericho's been brought back to just eat pins, baby.
And then it was weird because I don't know if you picked up on it, but it legit sounded like MVP said something along the lines of "screw this" or something, and got up from commentary as Jericho was being pinned. He either said like "screw this" or "I got to take care of this" or something like that. But then like he gets up, Jericho eats the pin, and then MVP meets up with the Hurt Syndicate, and then the show just ends. We don't see what happens. Jericho ate the pin in the middle of the ring. He looks like he's in
He just
pain.
got his guts out of there.
And yeah, I don't know. Obviously,
On Dynamite, we'll get a from last week's Collision vignette thing.
probably, where you'll hear me say last week on Collision, I guess.
Yep, exactly.
But no, it was just a weird segue, and I was like, huh? And then it ended. And it was over. I don't know.
And then they ran down the mediocre Dynamite that doesn't seem like it's going to be all that great come Wednesday. But they'll add more stuff to it between now and then, thankfully. Hopefully it'll be better than just what they have. I mean, we'll get Derby versus, what's his name? God, I can't think of his name. Nick, help.
Well, what are you trying to think of? Sorry, I was reading something.
The main event, Darby versus Brody. Yeah.
So
Damn, I lost it there. Lost his name.
Something else to talk about, because it's pretty big news leading up to, or that's happened
This weekend
over the last couple of days. WWE has started their layoff season.
Yep. Post WrestleMania cuts,
And
and there's a shitload of
let
them.
me let me tell you what. As far as talent goes, and I'm talking about talent across the board, this has been one of the more surprising groups of layoffs. Now, there hasn't been anyone super duper like top of the card that's been released, um, like there usually is.
The one closest to the top would probably be Kyrie.
Right. However, we're talking this was a good, solid group of people that all are really good workers.
Well, the top part of it, yes.
Um, minus the. I'm not.
Developmental people.
I'm not
You're
considering
talking
the
about roster
developmental people. I'm talking about main roster
Okay,
people.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
A couple of them kind of make sense because they're people that I thought were going to be let go the last like 4 years, like Apollo Crews. I'm surprised it took this many years because they just don't use him.
Yeah, they had nothing for him,
But like
and he's had chances, and they've not been able to get him over.
Alba Fire is their longest reigning ever UK NXT champ, which obviously the UK NXT doesn't exist anymore. But
And that's part of the reason she was the longest reigning one.
I mean, she held it for most of its existence, and then which was a couple of years, a year or two.
Tony Storm had it. Rhea Ripley had it.
Right.
So there are some,
There's some
big names that
there's
had
some
it.
big names that had it, but yeah. So Alba Fire got let go, and hers is also super weird because like she's been the one that's been with Chelsea Green for so long,
Yeah, but Chelsea's out hurt.
and now Chelsea's on her own. Yeah, but they've still been using Chelsea in segments and stuff, and Alba, and now
Yeah, but maybe
she's
they
just
won't.
gone. Zoe Stark was really lost on me. Like she wasn't a huge name while she was there, but like she had just gotten okayed to return, and then they let her go. So they didn't even give her a chance to even come back from her injury.
Well, some of the people that are hurt and they released them.
Yeah.
Who was the one that was hurt that they released?
Uh, Santos.
Was it Santos? There was another one too, I think. But they don't even like keep the fucking hurt people on the roster anymore. They're like, if you're done, you're done. Good luck rehabbing. They did that to Ridge Holland too.
Yeah. They got rid of the entire Wyatt Six, and
Yep.
that surprised me. Now, a couple of them I understood as the names were coming across, but to get rid of all of them, like I feel like there were stuff they could have done with Dexter Loomis, but
They've released Dexter several times at this point.
Um,
They know they don't want him. Is the best way I can explain it. The Wyatt gimmick kind of prolonged his tenure there.
I think Joe Gacy is also amazing, and Joe Gacy is one of them. I hope ends up in AEW. And MJF.
Joe Gacy, I think, is probably the most talented one out of that group that got let go.
I was surprised at seeing Nikki Cross go. Surprised in terms of like being a previous women's world champion, and like it doesn't surprise me in the sense that like she got stuck into the Wyatt Six and then never wrestled a match again as a part of the Wyatt Six. But they used her in so many backstage segments where she would be staring at one of the women while they were talking about title matches and stuff. Like you always had this feeling that Nikki was eventually going to get in a match with somebody, but then they never let her wrestle.
Nope.
Andre Chase, which a lot of the locker room's pretty bummed about because apparently Andre Chase was really big as far as like a locker room leader backstage in NXT.
Yeah.
He was.
That may be why they let him go.
It could be, but I mean Chase U, from my understanding, hadn't been doing anything for a long time, so him leaving doesn't really surprise me. Eric Rowan going was also a surprise. I mean, again, that goes back to the whole Wyatt Six thing. Eric's a really good worker.
Yeah,
Um,
Eric will find work.
and then Apollo Crews, which we mentioned. Oh yeah, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega surprised the shit out of me because like Black has only been back for a year. He literally didn't make a full year. He actually got fired the
Yep.
day before his 1 year anniversary with the company being back.
Yep. They may have requested it too because they were going nowhere.
It
Because
could have.
Zelina's requested her release before, and Alistair has been requested and granted his release before. So
Yeah.
it'll be
Um,
interesting to see if they go back to if he goes back to AEW.
and I kind of don't want him there. He was one of the ones that did never want to put people over. Like,
I agree, but
if you're
that
willing
didn't
to do
stop
the
Tony
job,
from bringing that didn't stop Tony from bringing other people back.
yeah. Uh, the ones I'm most excited for because I do think they're going to end up in AEW, Motor City
Motor
Machine
City
Guns.
Machine Guns.
And again, I
Yeah,
don't like the fact that anyone lost their jobs, but like this is a group of people. Everyone here is going to be working somewhere. They're all good workers.
yeah. The main roster people, the people in NXT, and the other developmental people like the Evolve people. Those people may not.
Right.
They may give up, but the established names will probably land on their feet somewhere.
And then Santos Escobar was the one that was injured. That
Yeah, and he'll end up somewhere.
yeah,
He's really good.
yeah, he is. He got stuck in a stupid fucking stable.
He got stuck
Um,
in that stupid LWO shit, dude. It kills everybody's career.
yep. It always has, always has.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
but yeah, no, I was, and here's the thing: we don't even know 100% if they're done because usually this is like a week long process. I didn't see anyone as being released today. I'd actually mentioned I wouldn't be surprised if Julia gets released after losing the fucking U.S. title last night.
Yeah, they telegraphed that her belt didn't have her unique side plates. It was just the generic title. So, like, if you pay any close attention, you knew she was losing as soon as the match began.
Um, but yeah, no, I haven't. I don't think there's been anyone else mentioned as far as releases. Kyrie, we didn't. We kind of glossed over Kyrie. Kyrie Sane is obvious, but
Yeah,
I
that sucks for Kyrie. I don't know if she just wants to go back to Japan,
or if she wants to retire.
if she wants to retire again, because she had already retired once and was kind of just working with Japanese promotions over there.
Right. And then
I don't know. It kind of kills the whole Asuka,
yeah,
Io,
she
Kyrie entire angle.
she was the anchor in that fucking angle. She was the one that whole
Yeah,
angle was based around. And now it's just what the fuck do we do?
they just hope you forget about it and move on. I would assume Asuka and or Io will be off of TV for a few weeks in the hope that you forget that thing even existed. Hell, Asuka might end up on SmackDown. Who knows? Just take her completely off the television program she was having that storyline in. Who knows, dude?
I sure don't.
I know there was a bunch of people upset Kyrie's gone. I think Rhea Ripley said something on Twitter about it. Several people were like, "What the fuck, man?" The sad thing is, they may be gone for 2 weeks and then hired back. Who knows? This WWE does some crazy things, man.
Um, but yeah, no, it was just a crazy thing. Crazy group of people that some of them I kind of expect. Like I said, I've thought Apollo Crews was going to be let go the last 2 to 3 years. Um, and it sucks because dude's super talented. He just can't get over there. Just can't. Um, I'm actually,
Yeah, he's not been able to get a character that he can really sink his teeth into to get
I'm,
over.
I'm surprised they pulled him up from NXT because he really wasn't getting over in NXT either, from what I remember.
No, I don't disagree.
Um, and then we hear they're about to they've already announced that they're officially calling up Ricky Saints and fucking
Yep, he'll be on SmackDown
listen. Thank you WWE for putting him
for
on the
not putting him
show
on
that
Raw.
I don't fucking watch. Thank you.
Hey, we got Ethan Page instead,
You want to talk
and I'm
about
super happy about
you
it.
want to talk about somebody that has a wet blanket personality for me? The dude's never been entertaining, not even in AEW. I've always thought he was one of the most overrated wrestlers in the history of AEW. Not the business, because there's
Oh,
been way more.
We got Joe Hendry on Raw as well.
I just, I've
He
never.
was rumored to have been a SmackDown guy, but he's apparently going to be on Raw now too.
I'm actually surprised he didn't go to SmackDown. I feel like he would actually be a better fit there. I don't know if I'm excited for Hendry. I don't dislike Hendry. I just
You have to believe in Joe Henry.
he's
Clap,
never
clap.
he's never, aside from having that entrance, he's never done anything that I've seen that I've just been like, this guy's really good. He just has a super
He
catchy
can
entrance.
work. He can work. His entrance is really good.
But I'm interested. They're also pulling Blake Monroe up already. It sounds like NXT's not going to have anybody by the time it's all said and done.
Well, it ain't watchable anyway, so you may as well pull up the people who are at least
They-
halfway decent.
They're putting everybody I'm not a fan of on SmackDown, and I love it. I love it. That girl trio got pulled over to SmackDown, and I'm like, thank God they're not on fucking Raw.
I don't even know what girl trio you're talking about.
They're the ones that jumped the tag champs. Something Fatal Influence, I think is what they go by, or something Lethal Influence, Fatal Influence, something like that. I don't know.
It must be Lethal Influence because I think you're thinking of Fatal Attraction.
It could be.
Because Fatal Attraction was Mandy Rose and the other two that I can't think of the names of right now.
I was actually right. It was Fatal Influence.
Fatal Influence, nice.
But yeah, it's I believe, is it JC Jane? Yeah, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Laney Reed. I'm not a JC
I think
Jane
JC
fan.
Jane's getting pulled up as well, right?
The whole trio did. That's what I'm saying. They were on SmackDown.
Okay. All I saw was a press release for JC Jane.
Yeah,
I didn't know she was in that gimmick. I didn't know she was in that stable.
They pulled up the whole fucking stable. For whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
We won't, because I don't watch SmackDown. I don't care. Unfortunately, we'll be stuck watching them on pay-per-views though. So
I watch clips from SmackDown. Like I watched the Danhausen versus Miz match.
yeah, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch anything. I played video games. That's what I did.
Yeah, I had a very long day on the YouTube today.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it, guys. An hour long. Sorry. But yeah, as always, our hearts go out to the families that are now
that are affected
workless.
by the releases. Yeah,
and
you got 90 days. You'll get paid for 90 days, or I guess
60,
30 days if you're an
60 to
NXT talent.
Yeah, 30 to 90.
Wish you the best. Get out there and get over and get paid.
Hope to see you guys somewhere else down the road. And that'll do it. We love y'all. We'll talk to y'all next time. Deuces.
Later.